All right. So today on our Team Arise call, we have Kristen Sokul. She is a group fitness instructor, personal trainer, and a Beachbody master trainer. I know that she does, she has an awesome page if you guys aren't friends with her, and she's always posting super funny, cool things. She specifically loves size. She has 14 years of fitness management and consulting experience in gyms all over the West Coast. And she also works with NASM and AFAA as a subject matter expert and video presenter for their online classes. She's motivated by helping people find inspiration and change their lives through fitness. And Kristen, I'm just going to tell a little bit of the irony of the story about how I know Kristen. So Kristen is married to someone that I went to an elementary school with, believe it or not. And just so happened that after I always saw her posts and stuff way before I even started into Beachbody. And then after I became a Beachbody coach, I was like, oh my God, now I understand what she does. So she's totally awesome. She's 38 weeks married and has 38 weeks pregnant, expecting her first baby. And she's still teaching. And so Kristen, we're so excited to have you on the call.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to be here. All right, so should I just get into it?
Yeah, take it away.
All right, you guys. Like I said, I have been in the fitness industry for a very, very, very long time, and I actually became a coach not that long ago, and I became a coach in a kind of a unique sort of way, especially from being in the group fitness industry. I had been teaching for a very, very long time, and a good friend of mine was working for Beachbody Live in the UK, and they came out with Size and Size Live, and they were looking for master trainers who had a dance background, not necessarily coaches, but people who had been working in group fitness and had a dance background and were able to train instructors. So I auditioned and became a master trainer for Beachbody Live before I was ever even a coach. So I was working not really within the network, but training instructors and getting familiar with the programs that way, rather than the normal sort of becoming a coach through doing a challenge group sort of road. And the first time someone approached me about being a coach, I was like, oh no, that's okay. I'm doing my group fitness stuff. Like I have a lot on my plate. This is, not really for me. And as I became a master trainer, just seeing the community within the master trainers of people that were coaches and seeing how many more lives that they got to touch outside of the group fitness world and just the gym world in general is what really got me excited, because in the class, you're a little bit limited with how many people that you get to speak with, although your network grows tremendously when you're teaching classes, but you're just right in front of those people right there. But with coaching, obviously you can reach people everywhere. It doesn't have to be right in front of your face or just at your gym or someone who you have a one-on-one personal training session with. So that's really what got me into coaching after I came through as an instructor and then a master trainer. So I kind of went a backwards route into getting into coaching. And to that as well, I actually was signed up. I've only been a coach for about a year, and I was signed up for about 6 months or so before I actually even started working my business. And I spent a lot of time promoting group fitness and like the fitness aspects of of where I was rather than actual coaching. And so it's only been within the last, I don't know, 6-7 months where I've really seen my coaching business take off, mainly because of the classes that I teach. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is how instructing and master training really, really, really does affect your business and help grow your network. Because growing your network is the key to our business, correct? Okay, so becoming a Beachbody Live instructor is a super, super easy process. Well, I'll just go over that first. You go through the workshop. It's a 1-day workshop, and the training is they give you all of the tools you need to become an instructor. Are any of you guys already Beachbody Live instructors?
Yes.
Has anyone gone through a training yet?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So fantastic. So are you guys teaching classes?
No.
No.
Yeah, I'll go with a negative with that one too.
I think we only have like a small handful, like maybe less than 5 on the whole team that probably teach.
Teach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
maybe a couple more.
Going through a training is going to give you tools that is going to help your business, even if you never, ever, ever teach. Some of the things that you learn in training, especially now, we've just revamped our trainings completely. And we've added a whole nother level of presenting and becoming more polished as a presenter and being able to coach and instruct people and connect in a way that has never really been talked about before within the workshops. So all of the aspects that you learn within a workshop is going to be applicable to your coaching business. And it is really going to it's going to make you more polished as a presenter, when you're running challenge groups and all of those different things. It's just going to give you that edge that will make you more polished. So another fantastic thing about becoming an instructor is that it will completely expand your network of people by so many. And it is a lot easier to reach out to people. I find it a lot easier to connect with people and have them trust me as a fitness expert or a fitness professional from them coming to my class, because they already look at me as a professional in the fitness industry, and they want to spend more time with me or more time with their instructor. And being able to get them into a challenge group is going to actually help them and connect with them even more. And you don't have to blast it on your social media. I know a ton of people get frustrated with social media, and I am not. I love social media, but I really don't post a ton about my coaching business on my social, because 99% of the people that are coming to me as coaches or coming to me as challenge group members, they have mostly come from instructing and teaching, and I haven't really had many from my personal network. It's mostly been from my instructor network. So what I find is that there's usually 2 different types of people that you're getting in your instructor network that can filter into your coaching business. The first is your participants, and they're wanting your personal expertise. They want more time with you. They want more of your energy, and they already love your energy because they're coming to your class, and they just want more of that in their everyday lives. So they are more likely to come into your challenge group and also be the champions of your challenge groups. They are already your lifer. They're already there 100%, and they are usually the ones that have the best results as well. The second type that I found out are instructors that I work with as well, and instructors that I even train as a master trainer. And these people generally come in wanting to coach, or it's easier to approach them to talk about coaching because they oftentimes want another avenue or another way to help people, and to help people outside of the gym and give their clients or people who are coming to their classes another option that's not just within the facility themselves. So there are some tricky things that come along with this, because if you're teaching in a facility, the gym that you're working at probably doesn't want you to go in and say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. Why don't you guys forget these workouts and come and do my challenge groups? So that's one of the challenges that comes along with being an instructor. But it's super, super easy to build your personal network that way. And what I do that works best for me is I just bring my own business cards. They don't say anything about Beachbody on them. They don't say anything. They just say personal trainer, health coach, fitness instructor, master trainer. And I give those out in my class, and then my participants will connect with me via Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is. And then most of the time, I don't even have to approach them. I will say something about a challenge group, maybe really small on my Facebook, and then they'll come up to me in class and say, hey, tell me about this, or, what, do you have any recommendations for nutrition or any of those things? So they usually start the conversation because they already see me as a fitness expert. And so even though I've been in the fitness industry for 15 years, I don't really feel like a fitness expert. I don't have a degree in kinesiology. I don't have a degree in education or anything like that. Everything that I've done in fitness has all been through going through instructor certifications and teaching classes. And so it has opened up a whole nother side of business that I never thought about when I first started teaching. And so that has been, you don't have to have all of that background, like a degree in kinesiology or exercise science or any of that, to become a fitness expert in your community. So that's the good news. Do you guys have any questions so far? Nope.
Hi,
Okay.
just a
Okay.
question.
Oh, yeah.
This is Rose,
Yeah.
by the way. Can you explain to people what a master trainer is? Because I think there is, especially we have a lot of new coaches on the call. So if you can kind of just explain the difference between just getting certified and then being a master trainer.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So when you go through a Beachbody Live workshop, you are a certified trained instructor. So you're able to go and teach classes to any facility that will hire you. So 24-hour, I know they have a lot of Beachbody Live instructors. It depends on whatever gyms are in your area. So that's what happens when you go through a workshop, a Beachbody Live workshop. Becoming a master trainer is a little bit more of a process, and you have to have a few years of experience teaching. But as a master trainer, what I do is I train and teach instructors, and I teach them to teach the Beachbody Live program. So I will host a workshop. Coaches or even people who are in the fitness industry who aren't coaches will come to my workshop so they can teach the Beachbody Live program. And really the process to that is to teach for a few years. It's 2 years as a minimum. And for some of the programs, it's not quite as long because size is so new. You can't even have been teaching size for 2 years at Country Heat. And I know that there's another Beachbody Live program that's coming out soon that may be the same as a new program that's coming out on the 1st. But we don't have any details about that yet. But so you would teach it for a short amount of time, about 2 years, and then you audition for our Beachbody Live headquarters. And then there's a whole training process that they take you through to host and train instructors. So that's kind of the difference between just being an instructor and being a master trainer for Beachbody Live. Does that make sense?
Thanks. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And 2 years does kind of seem like a long time, but it flies by. And the opportunities that you get as a master trainer too, it has actually brought some really unique coaching opportunities to me, things that I would have never, ever thought of before. I have facilities that I host trainings at, and they will just be looking for more instructors. And then they've approached me and say, oh, how can I have Shakeology in my studio? I want to sell Shakeology in my studio. Can you train me and teach me how to do that? So it opens up a whole new, I guess, playing field of opportunities in the fitness industry with your coaching business. And it also filters people in that are interested in becoming fitness experts. And I know in my experience, those instructors that become coaches are super, super successful at running their business and knowing how to motivate and inspire people because they have had so much experience in it already just from teaching. And just going back to kind of how it all works with coaching as well is basically being an instructor and a master trainer, you have this same vital behaviors. So if you're doing the same thing in both aspects of your business, you're going to be successful. So inviting people to your classes and then connecting with them that way, and then inviting them into your personal network. And that is going to help grow your coaching business. Being proof that the products work. So teaching insanity classes or teaching those classes, and people will see that they'll get the results in class. And then when you put them on a program, like when you put them in the 30-day size program, they'll be like, oh my goodness, my results are so much better from being so consistent rather than just having a size class offered twice a week on their group fitness schedule at their gym. It's also about personal development, going through the workshop and the continuing education that comes along with being an instructor is going to help develop you and your coaches and all of the people. It filters down from the top. And definitely, especially as a master trainer, is about recognition and bringing your successful instructors and your successful participants and showing them off just like you would as a coach at building your team. Okay, let me see. Let me just look at my notes here. Like I said, going through the training is definitely going to make you more polished as a presenter, and teaching in front of a class does that really, really, really fast. You would be surprised at how quickly you are able to more confidently present things when you have been teaching classes. It just comes really, really quick, and it's a really great experience. It gives coaches more confidence, because I know a lot of times, or not a lot of times, but I have heard from coaches, especially ones that haven't been in the fitness industry, they sometimes feel nervous about saying things like, I don't really feel like I'm an expert in fitness, or I know all of these, fitness things. So sometimes I feel a little bit self-conscious about talking to people about that. And it's been a real thing that I've had from a couple of coaches. But having the knowledge from the workshop and teaching classes gives coaches that extra boost of confidence. And automatically you're going to be viewed as an expert, even if you've only taught one class. The people in your classes think that You are the bravest person in the world for getting up and teaching in front of them. Even if you mess up as an instructor a million times in the class. When I teach classes, I mess up all the time. And it doesn't make them think I'm less of an expert, but it makes them think that I'm human as well. So it makes me more relatable to them and more approachable as their fitness expert in their mind. And like I said, it also expands your community. It expands your community. There are other ways that it extends your business. With Beachbody Live, the thing that makes our certifications and our workshops so unique is that once you go through training, just like when you become a coach, you're in charge of your own business. So you're a group fitness instructor and you can choose to run your business however you want. So if that is teaching in a gym, like 24-hour or Lifetime or any of the big chain gyms, that is a great way to go, but that's not your only opportunity. You can set up a class in a rec center that you rented out and then charge people that come to your class $10 a class. I've seen instructors do this where they rent out a basketball court and they will charge people and they'll get $40 people in their class at $10 per person for an hour's worth of work. So, and those are all their contacts that may or may not have ever even heard of the Beachbody coaching side of the business. So it just can expand. It is almost exponential in how it can grow. And then another way is, as an instructor, it gives you more opportunities to host classes in places like your church or your children's schools or things like that, because you do have that certification behind you, and people are going to be more open to be like, hey, let's have this person come in and teach a class for us. And, you can reach out more that way. And another fun one that I like to use is that you can go and teach classes in places like Lululemon or Athleta or any of the women's activewear clothing stores. Most of the time they have 2 or 3 days a week where they have instructors come in and teach classes in the store. And the best part about it is that they give you clothes. So they may not pay you for the class, but they will give you clothes, dress you from head to toe, and then you'll also get a discount on any other of the other clothes you purchase. So I don't know about you guys, but my closet is filled with workout gear instead of regular clothes. All right, so that is kind of the most of how people can use being a group fitness instructor within their coaching business. Do you guys have any questions, any other questions about that?
I have a question.
Yep.
I'm a fairly new coach, so this might be obvious, but what is the difference between this, the live certification and like someone who's certified in Insanity or certified, like, is that different? Are you certified in more when you become Beachbody Live certified, or is that the same thing?
Oh, it is. Well, it is the same thing. Beachbody. Okay, so Beachbody Live is actually a separate branch of Beachbody. So they're underneath the same umbrella, but they're more like brother and sister rather than the same company. And all of the classes that are in gyms or anywhere where there's an actual instructor is a Beachbody Live program. So in the Insanity Live, the Size Live, it just stands for, there's an instructor, they're teaching you live within a class. It's not a video. It's not like Fit Club. There's an actual instructor there. So the classes are a little bit different because they can incorporate different moves and different aspects of the class for safety that you couldn't do if it was just a video. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. And then you have to be certified in each workout I guess, separately? Like I have to, if I wanted to do insanity and size, like each one's a separate certification, right?
Yes. Yeah, they are. They are. And it just really, really expands your knowledge of the actual brand. I'm a master trainer just for size at the moment. But I also am an instructor for Insanity Live and Pio Live. So it just gives you such a deeper knowledge of the program itself. And that also helps with when you're running a Pio challenge group or you're running an Insanity challenge group, you're going to have so much more knowledge of why it is formatted the way it is and why it works, and about the different exercises and additional modifications for people that you wouldn't have if you weren't an instructor. Do you guys have any other questions?
I do. So I find that approaching people as someone that's not, well, I am certified, but I don't teach. So, and I don't have a lot of contacts already in the gym arena. And I find that approaching people that are already personal trainers or fitness people is more of a challenge personally than non-fitness people because of their preconceived notions about what Beachbody or at-home workouts are. That may or may not be true. That might be what I think. But what suggestions can you give, or like how would you overcome like objections that maybe they're just like, oh no, that's not for me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I absolutely understand where you're coming from. And it can be a little bit tricky because people who have been in the fitness industry do have preconceived notions about it. They're like, oh, well, these people aren't fitness professionals, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole gamut of reasons why they can almost discredit what we do as coaches. But how I actually approach it is that I use the example of how what you do within the gym is very limited. It's only limited to the people that walk into the gym. And you can only help people that are right in front of your face, right there. But with the Beachbody programs and the challenge groups, I don't understand why any fitness professional wouldn't be a coach or wouldn't be involved in Beachbody, because it gives an avenue to reach people that are outside of their 30-mile radius. It gives them another opportunity to help people and, change their lives. So, and using that is great. And for the people that are really, really in the business, in the fitness industry, to change people's lives, they will see the value in that. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are personal trainers and group fitness instructors for different reasons, personal reasons that don't have anything to do with helping people in fitness or, changing people's lives. And those are usually the people that kind of give you those objections. So it is about finding the right people within the fitness industry, and the ones that are really, really, truly out to help people and, give opportunities to people that are outside their vicinity, because I help so many more people outside of teaching that I would never, ever have been able to help before, like people who are in different states and all of those things. And you can't do that as a personal trainer or a group fitness instructor if you really don't have an avenue to do that. And coaching is that avenue. And it's the best that I found that can give them something to give to their clients, or, like online clients and stuff. So that's really how you have to approach it. saying something like, this is another avenue for you to help people. This is another avenue for you to reach people. And once they see that, then if they are in the fitness industry for the right reasons, it'll be a lot easier to get them on board and to get them excited about the opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I'll kind of piggyback off of that. I was an athletic trainer for, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know, too long. And everyone thought that an athletic trainer was a personal trainer, and it was completely opposite. But I was still in the health and fitness industry, regardless of exactly what my job was. But kind of what Kristen was saying is that if they are truly in it to help people, they'll realize that you can only do so much for a 30-minute class, an hour class, twice, 3 times, 4 times a week if you're lucky. I don't think people do 4 times a week. I could be making that up. But with being a coach, you can obviously help them, not 24/7, but you can give them more support that way. And you don't get nutrition. You don't get like some gyms do meal planning, but what we have to offer is completely different. And you're definitely, you're going to, and I come across it all the time. Even other athletic trainers, they're like, they look at me and they roll their eyes, and that's fine with me because they're obviously not the ones that I want in this business. So, but then you'll find the ones that are truly out there to help and reach as many people as they possibly can. And they'll definitely see that this gives them that platform to reach more people that they could never really have thought. And what I did want to say too is, being an instructor is just kind of like another avenue for us to, reach more people and, just another part in our Beachbody business. For some coaches, it might be 90%. And for some of us, it might be 0. Like I did Insanity live maybe 2 years ago. I never did anything with it. Listening to this call, I'm thinking maybe I should probably, just because now since, this is my full-time job, I can actually have the time to do a class. Does it scare me half to death? Yes, because I don't like being in front of people and talking. That makes me super nervous. And I never really, being an athletic trainer, I never really instructed a class or anything. So yeah, it's definitely going to push you outside of your comfort zone if you've never done this before. And I think that's the challenge of being a coach in general, of doing things that you typically would never do, of, stepping outside of that comfort zone to say, all right, maybe if you're a new coach, I don't know a lot of people. How can you get to know a lot of people? Get into people's face, be there in person, and being a live instructor, I think, is a really great avenue to do that with. And to say it might not be for everyone, but I would, and you know what, even if you did something like me or like Leia, where you just got certified and didn't do anything with it, you learn a lot of just great information. A group of us did it together. So, it was just another time for us to hang out, to get to know each other better. I did it actually with Danielle Natoni. So that was awesome. And she was actually calling Sean T like, hey, Sean T, what a bunch of Insanity live instructors. It's just a fun day. So even if you don't end up doing anything, it's going to just help you in your challenge groups, to get the right techniques that you can teach people. And I think even from that gives you a little bit more confidence if you're coming into this saying like, I don't know a lot about health and fitness. Make this your personal development too. If you're saying, I don't know a lot about food, or I don't know a lot about actual exercise and things like that, this could be one of those personal developments for you to learn more and to grow as a Beachbody coach. And that will give you just more confidence when you are reaching out to people and inviting people to your challenge group. So does anyone else have any questions, comments that they want to ask Kristen or just talk about?
This is Kristen again. I actually do have another comment really quick. Sure. about going through the workshop, and even if you don't ever use it, I know one of the things for me personally that I struggle with is coming up with content to put on my social media, right? I feel like thinking about different things and, trying to be creative and trying to be funny and trying to do things like that. That is one of the hardest parts for me because I am so used to working with people one-on-one. But going through the workshops and learning more about fitness is going to give you an additional level of information and content that you can put on all of your social media channels. It'll give you the right technique for certain exercises. So you can go through and talk about a technique. I mean, in the Insanity workshop, and even in the P90X workshop, you learn so much about the actual exercise technique and, what's good and what's bad and how to correct technique. That you could take one of those pieces of information and put it on your social media every single day, probably for an entire year, just from one day of working at the workshop and getting the information from the manual. And that's all stuff that you can use. And it's going to build up your credibility as someone who's in the fitness industry.
Yeah, I'm P90X certified, and I learned so much about form, and even just for my own person, like I was one of those people that they volunteered and they picked apart my form in front of the class. So I learned so much that day that if nothing else, just helped my own personal fitness. So I don't get hurt, but I help now, whenever I do videos, I make sure I'm doing them absolutely perfect and pointing those things out now for my challengers. So that's definitely helped me.
And it's also a great way to just meet other coaches in the network. I mean, just like from this past weekend at Leadership for Me, like I've met so many new coaches that like you just make that connection with other people, and it makes Beachbody seem that much more bigger to you, but also small at the same time because you're all so alike not in your stories, but you feel like you have that other kind of family, even though they're not like on your team or anything. So definitely just, connecting with people through going to the live classes and meeting different people on different teams and learning from them is huge. I mean, just like Kristen's coming on our call tonight, you don't know what you're going to be learning from another coach because different teams do so many different things, and there might be just that one thing that sticks out for you, just like this weekend. And I didn't announce this at the beginning of the call, but it's Super Saturday. I went to, and I say this every single time, I went to every single Super Saturday for the past almost 4 years, and I'll continue to do so just because of that connection of reaching out and, seeing new coaches, learning different things, learning new things, having that aha moment. And I know more than anyone, being in this business, you give so much of yourself that you need to put that energy back in yourself. So going to those live events, it's where you're going to fill up your cup to be able to kind of pour into others more when you come back home. So any other questions or comments, ladies? I don't think we have any gentlemen on. No, we don't. Going once. Going twice. All right. Thank you so much, Kristen. We really appreciate you taking the time out.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And if you guys ever need anything about teaching or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I love it when I can talk about, especially with coaches instructing, because being a group fitness instructor is where my passion started. So if I can help bring that fire to anyone else, I'm more than willing. So yeah, you can reach out to me anytime. You can find me on Facebook and all of that good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, ladies. Have a good night. Hopefully I'll see you Super Saturday.